Hi everyone, Formula Ford here and welcome back to my F1 24 last question mark challenge on the official game. But first I want to apologise for the lengthy break in between videos, and I will do my best to make sure I'm uploaded more consistently. I have been having issues recording after the latest Xbox update from Microsoft. I have a USB stick, so I should be able to record 1 hour gameplay from this stick, but since its recent update from Microsoft, it keeps displaying a notification on my Xbox saying you need a faster drive. I've searched it up and I'm not the only one that is experiencing this issue, and it has been a thing since May, and it is still not fixed by Microsoft. So please, Microsoft, sort this out so we can still be doing our content created. But enough of my rambling. We have our new challenge, and that is at Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix. And what we'll be doing is we'll be starting from last as Charles Leclerc. And there's a little twist in this one, because we did have rain in the official race. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go from intermediate conditions to dry. And the AI difficulty is set to 110 as well, just to make it even more difficult for ourselves.
It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Joe, Bottas, Albon, Hülkenberg, Sargent, and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And joining me in the commentary box today with the best view on what is about to unfold and some strong views on the action we're about to see, Naomi Schiff. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Alright guys, so here we are at the back of the grid with Charles Leclerc. So we're just going to get some of the fuel out of the car just because we're running in the wet conditions. We probably will not need as much fuel as probably we'll be lifting and coasting. Just going through one last checkup of the setup, just making sure that's all alright. But because of part filming we can't change much anyway, just put a little bit less on the engine braking just because we're in the wet conditions as well. So here we are then, at the back of the grid. What can we do with Charles Leclerc? 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go. So it's not a great start, to be honest, from us there, as we're going to look to the inside of Logan Sargent and we draw alongside Alexander Albon there. We've got the Stake F1 cars just around there, and we're going to have a look round the outside of them as we draw alongside Ricciardo and Magnussen, who are going side by side. We're going to try and get in front of them if we get into the next corner, which we do, and we're now onto the back of Pierre Gasly. What we're going to do is we come around here. They're a bit of a traffic jam at the moment, so we're going to have a look round the outside, which turns into the inside of Gasly, which we do. And we're into 12th place, which means we have made 8 places from the start already as we look to hunt down Yuki Tsunoda in 11th place. But here we go, out of this exit we've got another good overtaking opportunity. This is one of the very good things about the Canadian Grand Prix, is there are some very good overtaking opportunities. If we brake a bit early, Are we going to have a look around the outside of Yuki Tsunoda? No, it's not on. So we're going to have a look round and up down to the straight. Are we going to have a run as we use our ERS here? Are we going to be able to do something to Yuki Tsunoda as we draw up, gaining? Are we going to look around the outside, are we? Are we going to get the move done into the chicane? Yes, we do. So that is 11th place. We've made up 9 places on this first lap, which is incredible. Next up on our list as we go into lap 2 of this race will be the McLaren of Oscar Piastri. And let's see if we can get the move on him. So we are taken into lap 4 of this Grand Prix. We're still behind the McLaren of Oscar Piastri. We look around the outside. Are we going to be able to do anything from there? No. He covers off the space and it looks like we're going to try and do something at the inside of him now. We kind of back out, but he gives us the space. So we're just going to take it and sail on by. So thank you, Oscar. Then we go on to try and have a go at Esteban Ocon in the Alpine for P9. We skip ahead to lap 6 of this Grand Prix, still behind Esteban Ocon, but closing in on the back straight. In other news, we have lost Logan Sargent from this race due to an engine failure. As we skip over the curves, we're having a look at Esteban Ocon as we come down the straight now. We cross the line and we're going to have a look round the outside of him into turn 1. Yes, we do. We're going to be able to settle this into turn 2 though. He's still there on the outside. As we get the move settled, we've got that move done and we're into 9th place. As we look ahead to the Mercedes of George Russell. The track is definitely getting faster now as we come through the chicane and Carlos Sainz gets the fastest lap as we definitely just tap the wall there. As we get the fastest set to 1 and we're getting fastest in this session so far. As it looks like it is definitely drying up and we could be on the into the slicks very soon. We're on to lap 10 of this Grand Prix as DRS has just been enabled, so that means we're coming in for the slick tyres as when DRS is always enabled on the games you want to be on the dry tyre as this is now the fastest tyre. As we come into the pit lane, are we going to be speeding? No, just about slowed down for the pit box, just got a time to turn in now and it should be alright. We get optimal, so we're going to get a 2.4 pit stop, which is good. And no one else has come into the pit lane, so we're the only into box out of this, but we have made the right strategy call and hopefully that means that we can try and undercut the drivers that have stayed out. As we come out of the pit lane, we're just going to try and get our braking zone right, not go over the right line. We did kind of get close there, maybe even did go over it, but for whatever reason it did not get registered. As we have amazing grip now. We move the back in a little bit around as it's still a bit greasy offline as we go and try and hunt down the rest of the pack. There are drivers coming in and boxing now. The question is how many are they going to overtake and are we potentially going to get the undercut on George Russell as we set the fastest lap of the race so far. So there's still yet people to pit. We're still on that into tyre, but the track is definitely slick ready and some of them are hard, but we know that we can make it to the end on these soft tyres. It's just a real case we need to coast enough for the fuel that we have remaining. As we're coming back down the straight now, how many more are going to be pulling off into that pit lane as although the drivers are setting the fastest lap of their Grand Prix. As we come across the line for 1:14.1 and we are definitely on the charge now. We have just been on Fernando Alonso, so he has overcut us I'm afraid. As we've got Max Verstappen in the Red Bull behind us, how long are we going to keep him behind? Even on the hard tech, it is going to be difficult to keep him behind for the remainder of this race. We're on the back straight now. Max has got DRS behind us. Is he being able to get the overtake done? Yes, he just goes right up alongside us. We're not going to fight this one as he is obviously quicker than us in this race and we do have to save some fuel. It looks like we're going to struggle to get to the end as we have overcut Russell by the way as we're in 7th place. It's just we're going to be able to keep George Russell behind as he will still be able to push on those medium tyres with 5 laps to go of the Grand Prix. we're on lap 16. Unfortunately, we have lost the DRS to Max Verstappen after keeping him in there for about 2 laps, but now George Russell is in our DRS and is looking to get an overtake on us any second. As we come into the last corner now, we've just missed one of our champions, and George Russell is looking really feisty there. We're going to try and defend, keep him behind, but he has got the fastest lap of the race, so it looks like he will be overtaking us at one point. And last time we go a bit wide into turn 2, and that opens the door for George Russell on the inside. Is he going to have a look into turn 3? I'm going to try and keep him running outside. Unbelievable stuff. But are we still going to be able to keep him behind? Because the next straight is our DRS zone, and it looks like there's not very little battery that we have and very little fuel that we have that will be able to keep him behind, but we are going to defend. Is he going to go right round us outside? Yes, he is. We can't even match him on the brakes. He's way too quick for it.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
And even if he was to make a mistake, Mark, I don't think he'd be losing the position because we still need to save fuel. We need to just focus on the fuel now and try and get to the end of this Grand Prix. On the last lap now, as we come down the back straight, we are not able to get to Russell, and we still need to save that tiny bit of fuel, so we're going to have to lift and coast into this last corner and hope Carlos Sainz gets the fastest lap. On the last lap, we're going to have to settle for P8, but that is a great recovery drive.
Checkered flag.
Not ideal. But anyway.
All the signs were there that it was going to be his day, and what a day it was. Carlos Sainz wins.
And it's one thing to win, but to win like that in total dominant style, that was a fantastic drive, and it is not one that we see very often.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. What an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
And there we have it, our teammate wins the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz wins from Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez in third. Then we have Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen, George Russell, myself in 8th. Then we got Lance Stroll scoring points at his home race, and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10. And that is the end of the video and my commentary for today. Thank you for watching. If you have liked this video, then be sure to give it a like. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for more motorsport content like this. I have been Formula Ford, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light